It is a great day here at the Ark of Safety Christian Church. I am First Lady Kathy Ory, and we invite you in with just a little conversation with the daughters from the Ark. So, as we have entered into Black History Month, we want to acknowledge some of the wonderful things that our people have done, some of the many things that we still use some of these wonderful things, and you'll hear about it in our conversation. So I want to introduce daughter Janice Waller.
Hi.
And I want to introduce Mrs. Roxanne Terry.
Hello.
And I want to introduce Miss Everisha Perry.
Hi.
Hey, ladies.
Hi.
How's everybody? Okay, let's get this show on the road. We want to just talk about where the Lord has brought us from, how he has brought us. Talk to us what you have to share.
Well, what I would like to share, I start out with, did you know that in the late 1800s, there were people that invented objects that still affect our lives today? And some of them were born into slavery and were, lived through the emancipation and made their inventions. First is a woman named Josephine Cochran, and she invented the automatic dishwasher. Yes. And then there was a gentleman by the name of Thomas Carrington, and he invented the prototype for today's modern stove and oven. But he also invented the stethoscope, and the stethoscope design has basically remained unchanged since he invented it like in 1886. And then the last one I found for the pastor, a man named George Grant, who was a dentist, one of the first African American dentists, and he invented the golf tee.
Whoa.
So, but I would also like to tell you about a slave by the name of John Punch, who was in Virginia in the 1640s, and he made many attempts to escape, and his name is one of the first on record of actually having a court hearing that declared him a slave for life.
Wow.
But this man ended up being the 12th generational grandfather of Barack Obama,
Amen.
Who happens to be a DNA cousin of mine.
Ooh.
So would I.
Well, that's awesome information. We thank you for that, Mom Janice. All right, Miss Roxanne, what do you have over there? You have some good information to share with us.
Okay. So did you know that my cousin, Grace Milzia Bunbury, is of a leading and pioneering generation of African-American mezzo-soprano opera classical singers. She was born January 4th, 1937, right here in St. Louis, Missouri. She graduated Sumner High School, and she sang in the choir. At the tender age of 17, she won a local teen talent contest, and one of the prizes was a scholarship to the St. Louis Institute of Music. Well, unfortunately, at that time, they didn't accept blacks. So the promoters and sponsors arranged for her to be in another showcase called Talent Scouts. And in that, the opportunity for her came to study at Boston University, Northwestern University, and the Music Academy of the West in Santa Barbara, California. In 1960, she made her operatic debut in Paris. In 1961, at the tender age of 24, she was cast as Venus, which is one of the first black performers in that show, and she was earned the title of Black Venus. However, the conservative opera goers were very outraged about this. So her performance, though, was so compelling and moving that they won the audience over. She received a 30-minute standing ovation and 42 curtain calls.
awesome. That is really awesome. Isn't it amazing that we have history that's that close to us? Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more.